We built the suits. We built the Molotov, the final suit. Then Bilal came over to England again and took a look at it and approved it, and then we went from there. But a full body cast of Mike Carter. And then I sculpted the shape of the suit on top. And it was moulded in sections and then cast out in foam rubber and each piece glued onto a lycra bodysuit. Mike actually had tiny clamps on his teeth with the lasers that fed up through the back of the suit so that, when he talked and opened his mouth, you could see the red light shone through. The in-between stage, Molisar, and there's me and I think Denise and Richard Padbury kind of tinkering about with it and painted it all up and then take care of it when he's on set, which is constantly getting ripped and damaged things. The intermediate Molisar, when he was just like a carcass with muscles but no skin, that was mechanical, and a group of us worked on that. And then the original Molisar, when he just arrived as smoke with eyes, was a mechanical skeleton with smoke canisters, and it was shot and then the footage reversed so that it gave that strange whirling effect. When Molisar carries Eva, that was a foam body cast. I think it was me, in actual fact, that was cast for the figure that he carries, because it was just foam rubber. There's a scene on the castle battlements between Molisar and Glaken, Scott Glenn's character. And we're up, it wasn't so high off the deck, I guess, I don't know, about maybe 10 feet up. Poor old Scott's got some haptic contact lenses in. Mike can barely see out of the creature suit headpiece. And they have to run towards each other and then have a fight with this thing that looks like a torch. It's supposed to be the only weapon that can kill Molisar. Because Mike's a bit taller than Scott, and they can't really see each other, they have to run together, get into a grapple. And because of the height difference and they couldn't see, they ran together, and where Scott placed the torch thing was sort of up Mike's butt. Mike's kind of jumping about on his toes because he's being lifted off his feet. And Michael Mann shouting down from getting more and more angry, shouting, "Yeah, you look like you're fucking him." That was the craziest production I've ever worked on. On the little creature puppets for Miss Peregrine, there was myself, Serena Knott, and Dan Wright, who I think we made about 4 each, something like that. Tim designed them, and there were a few more designs than the ones we actually made. But in actual fact, we made about 8 of them altogether. But unfortunately, they only used 2 of them in the film. The crab one was basically a real crab that we moulded and made a fiberglass replica of the shell. Because if you use a real one, it's not all that strong and it starts to smell. And then parts of dolls. Sometimes you sculpt a doll's head or maybe mould one, because you need materials that you can screw into, which you can't do with the sort of plastic that dolls are made of. Everything was moulded, but you can't use metal. You have to make a lightweight resin one of everything. Other when the animators use it, it's too heavy. The arm would keep falling down if it's got a knife in it or something. In the scene where Samuel L. Jackson and the other baddies are eating eyes, those were all the marzipan eyeballs I made in my own kitchen here. Hand painted with edible paint, little veins put in. You had to stand by with a bucket for the actress to spit them out again. After you've tasted about 6 of them, you don't want any more. I did the Ken Branagh version of Cinderella. Female figures, sort of almost life-size, holding up chandeliers with a load of candles on them. I've made for Jose Brunel. There's a sequence in the Napoleon film where they set fire to ships in the harbour, and I made all the sails. I mean, they're miniatures, but what they call bigatures, and the huge sails. Guys did the rigging, the wooden masts and things, and I did the sails with a friend of mine.
Araba Okran, just the two of us.
To be honest, I forget films I've worked on until sometimes they come on TV and I go, oh yeah, that one, you know?
In terms of things I've made, the big dragon from Reign of Fire was a nice thing to have done. I mean, there was 4 of us sculpting that, but I was chief sculptor. I actually prefer doing sculpture and props. Animatronics, I mean, there's not very much of it done nowadays. I mean, I did quite a bit of it when I was at working at Ensign's. Derek wasn't on the Falco, on the creatures. Derek was, I think he might have been filming some of them. He was mainly models. And I was working with Carol de Jong and Gary Pollard, and I forget the other person's name. There were 4 of us on Falcor. Tacey Neal was working on the fur. She does the flock work, and well, all of us were on the cover, the flock cover. But I did some of the sculpting, and then we all did painting. There was problems with the mechanical computers and things, which were frequently. We had to strip the whole skin off it, and it was kind of, I suppose, 3 or 4 inch thick moulded foam. And we used to sit on it and fall asleep on it and things, because it was such an exhausting job, and we were up half the night. On the Trafalgar Square set, the miniature that was covered in snow, I did those with my friend Carol de Jong and Ian Whitaker. We were the sculptors, and we went up to Trafalgar Square and sort of picked which ones we wanted to do, because there's several statues and things. Miniatures, yeah, okay. But no, I prefer to do just proper sculpture.